Golden rule in crypto: never, ever, ever, ever go all in. I think a lot of people, they went all in not so long ago. The market was kind of brutal and now it doesn't feel that nice. I'm never all in. But there is one occasion that might happen. I give it about a 15/20% chance that if that occurs, I'm gonna break that rule. So, in other words, if if the altcoin market hits a certain level, I'm all in crypto. And you won't be seeing me a lot anymore, right? Because then I'm gonna have to take a side job. I'm all in and then it's all or nothing, right? In this video, I wanna show you at what point I would do that and how likely I think it is that it will happen. Also, why I'm gonna do that. All right, so welcome to the Fomo Factory. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. Sitting here with a fever, but you won't notice because I've more than enough coffee. So the altcoin market right now, others, everything outside of the top 10, within the top 125. Currently, that is in a bull market. Right now, you might look at certain altcoins and be like, oh, I don't know, with this imaginary bull market of yours. And a lot of altcoins, they for sure don't look like they're in a bull market. Definitely. However, the top 125, excluding the top 10, is. Maybe also because it constantly gets filled with new coins that do well, right? However, this is constantly in a bull market. So I will also kind of talk about which coins I will go all into. It's going up, 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 up. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That 1 step back is creeping people out quite hard. And that's understandable because if this chart right now, for example, dropped 40%, you can imagine that the lower cap coins that are not included in this chart, they go down way harder, right? They go down way harder. Luckily for us, crypto goes up and down, right? And it's the other way around as well. I get that the altcoin market hasn't been too nice lately, but we should also realize that we came specifically into altcoins for a reason, right? That's to make more returns than with Bitcoin or stocks or whatever. So also more risk in there. That's I hope that we can all realize that as well, right? Now, at a certain point, the market will turn around again. That's what it always does. But what if we go down even further? I have 2 levels where I'm gonna deploy, and I just want to make this very clear, personal, transparent, and you can call me smart, you can call me crazy. I don't care. It's just what I'm going to do, right? So the first big level where I will deploy about 30% of my cash, something like that, is this trend line. This trend line, this diagonal trend line. Because it showed that every time we got to this trend line, the bulls were like, okay, nice attempt, bears, but not now, right? We got down here, and it resulted in a small wick and we got right back up again. Here, same story. We got that capitulation wick and the bulls bought it up right away. Now, in the last capitulation, we didn't even get there and the bulls were already like, okay, calm down. And so it might look bad, but bulls are way in control right here. So buying at that trend line so far is a great move, right? Now, anything could happen. We can get there again. I mean, it doesn't happen that often. We got there once in May 2023, in August 2024, and again in February 2025. So if we get there, you know, it could take a few months, maybe. But that would be my first big buy. And in the meantime, I am not really doing much, right? If it's ranging between this upper trend line and this lower trend line, then, you know, sometimes the best trade is no trade. And if we are now in the middle, I'm gonna just wait, you know, stack some cash in case we need it. Now, my second buy, that's the big level where I want to talk about. Because this altcoin market so far is a pretty much a straight up copy from the last cycle. Actually, if we look at this, we went down into the bear market, right? We found the bottom, and from the bottom we had that mid-cycle rally that brought us up 350%, right? We went down, found the bottom, and we had that mid-cycle rally that brought us up 428%. It's pretty close, right? Then we went down from that mid-cycle with 59%. Here, we went down from the mid-cycle rally to the lows with 59%. Then, in this previous cycle, after we went down like that, we went up with 130%. Here, we went up a little harder even, 200%. Right? But the moves and the percentages, it's crazy, right? However, then in this cycle, we went down with 71%. And that's because of COVID, right? Which is a black swan. Will I say like, hey, you should count on the fact that we get a black swan? No, because that's not the definition of a black swan, right? However, it could. It happened before. Who knows what happens, right? 71%. Well, so far, we are already down with 43%, and the wick brought us all the way down to 52%. So it is freaking insane, right? How much this cycle and every move looks like the last cycle. If we finish this move and we do go down with 71%, it will take us into this red box right here. And that's why I'm all in, right? If we look at the last cycle, for the people that kind of, went into the bear and maybe didn't buy, wanted to wait for confirmation here, they saw, oh, it's too late, so maybe bought here, whatever, right? They got pretty much a second chance at this point right here. The prices for certain altcoins at this point in the cycle were insane, right? Instead of making a 30x from this point, you could have made a 60x from this point. Like, that can be so life-changing, right? So I'm waiting with a big part of my cash in case we get there, right? Because that is, look, you can say whatever you want. This is a life-changing entry over here. Now, how big do I think the chances that we get here and what could take us there? Look, and I will also talk about what kind of altcoins I will buy there. But I don't think that the chance of getting here is really that big, because again, it's this move was mainly because of COVID, right? If it wasn't for COVID, then we probably went down with like 40% give or take, right? Like everything except this last week that had that wick, and that week only was a wick of 58%, right? But then we went down with 42% or so, right? If you look what we are doing right now, we are so far down 42%. So if we do not include COVID, then this cycle so far has perfectly copied last cycle, like to the last bit, right? And from that point, without COVID, it would have been up. Now, again, I am not counting on the fact that we will get a black swan, because a black swan is something that you do not count on, right? That is not likely to happen. By this time, even a nuclear war won't be a black swan anymore, as people talk about it. COVID, nobody expected that. That was a black swan, right? So I'm not expecting it. But I do still think that there's a likelihood of 15, 20%, something like that will happen. And it may not be because of a black swan, but maybe because of just Trump screwing things up, right? Early in the office, he wants the dollar to weaken. What do we need? Maybe we need QE for that, right? What do you need to do to get QE? Fuck everything up. Yeah, the earlier he does it, the better, because in 4 years when he needs to be reelected, people already forgot about it. Could happen. Or it could be something else. I don't know. If we get there, I'm all in. I'm really all in. Now, how would that look like? Well, I think in order for the altcoin market to, because from this point where we are right now, that's a, let's say 50% drop, right? So either the Bitcoin dominance has to stay where it is and Bitcoin has to drop 50% and Bitcoin goes down to 45K. I can see Bitcoin having a big correction, 45K. Then I think that's not likely, in my opinion. What I can see happen, and what we talked about a couple times on the channel, is Bitcoin, and I even don't say that that's likely, but what I actually see as something at least somewhat possible is Bitcoin going to somewhere around 70K or so, right? Let's say 25, 30% drop, maybe something like that. It's not an insane crash, right? And why do I think that's likely, or at least possible? Because Bitcoin in January of every post-halving year so far had a 35 or 30% correction. So it would be different if we don't get it this time, right? So that's something that I don't rule out. Like, okay, yeah, Bitcoin can do that, definitely. However, also, the last times that happened, which one was over here, right? And the other one was over here. The other times that happened, if we overlay the Bitcoin dominance, you can see that here the Bitcoin dominance did not like go up or anything, right? Here it went kind of sideways and even a little down at first. And here the Bitcoin dominance went down really hard. So Bitcoin dropped, altcoins did not drop. Matter of fact, they went up. So what we do need is a big Bitcoin drop, including the dominance to go up. These two scenarios together, and quite soon it has to happen, I think, as well, because the further we get into the cycle, the further we get away from the January drop, right? But these two things happening at the same time are not likely, right? It could happen, but it's not likely. So therefore, I think 15, 20%, right, chance that we can get that low. However, again, if it happens, I want to take advantage of it, right? I think that the people, and you can see that for yourself, but the people that took advantage of this right here, yeah, they made so much money. And I know what you will say, probably. I get the sentiment right now. Well, if we get there, then it's over. Look, again, it's a copy of last cycle. Was it over right here, or was this the best opportunity you will ever get in your fucking life to buy something, right? So in that case, yeah, we can look at drops and be like, oh no, scary. Or we can look at drops, right, and buy it up. So we actually have something to sell when the price is higher. And that's the gamble that I will take. And I call it a gamble because it's crypto. It's all a gamble, basically, right? Now, to wrap it up, I want to make my videos a little shorter lately. What would I buy if we get that low? Well, the not that exciting altcoins, actually. Because if the altcoin market is that low, you can buy the lower risk altcoins for such a low price, then why would you gamble on the higher risk altcoins? You know how they have been doing this cycle so far. There are a few outperformers and overall they're fucking wrecked. So why would you burn your fingers there, right? So in that case, I would look at the Ethereums, right? The AVEXs, the Solanas, maybe the Superverses, if you want to go a little riskier already, right? But really the high cap coins that are doing well, right? Again, if we drop like 50% here, and let's say Ethereum does an average drop, right? It could take Ethereum to around $1,300, which is here. Look, again, I don't see that as likely at all. Maybe 14, 15. But that's my worst case scenario. But it still makes a lot of sense for me that coins like Ethereum will go way over 6K this cycle. Way over 6K. Right, so if you can get it at this price, right? And it goes to 6K, then you make a more than a 4x on the safest altcoin out there, right? Like, yeah, that's a good trade in my opinion. That's a really good trade in my opinion. Therefore, I'm keeping cash. I'm keeping cash. I know that if you are now in the position where you feel like FOMO, fucking great for you. But I don't have cash, so why am I watching this, right? Look, I was in that position as well where I thought, oh, the market is going up no matter what, so I'm all in. And you know what that did for me? It wrecked me so hard that I had to learn from it because I didn't have anything else. So learn from it. And in the meantime, get some cash, right? Work. I don't know. I can't fill that in for you. That's not my, I don't know, right? But at least prepare for something very bad. Because if it happens, then it is not bad as long as you are prepared, right? This will only be very terrible for the people who don't believe that we are going up after that. I made multiple videos about that, right? If I don't think it's going to go up, then I wouldn't be buying here, of course. But this would be the lifetime opportunity. So that's just what I wanted to mention in this video. I will try to keep it within at least 20 minutes lately, if possible. So let me know. If we get here, honestly, what would you do? I'm curious. So far, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Turn the bell notification on. Like the video. And I'll see you in the next one.